Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back. We are now on Ezekiel 10. We have learned so much from Ezekiel about what happened in the Bible and how it relates to now. Before we get started, make sure you like and follow, subscribe, ring the bell. Let's make sure we are able to study together, and I would appreciate it. Because the more we like and have more subscribers, YouTube is able to thrust me to the front so that more people can see it and hear the word of Ezekiel. So let's go ahead and dive in. So we have Ezekiel 10, verse 1. Let's go ahead and read that. I looked and I saw the likeness of a throne of sapphire above the expanse that was over the heads of the cherubim. Remember, we learned about the cherubim in the previous chapter. They are the guardian angels. So within that verse, we see the use of sapphire. Remember, everything said to me in the Bible adds value. So when we dig deeper, the understanding is in the details. So again, dig deeper, get your study Bibles, use Google. Great sources. I truly enjoy my study Bible. So the sapphire in the Bible symbolizes something precious and of great value. And that's something that I looked up on Google. Okay, if we read the actual definition, again, I Googled this as well. It says, I asked what the meaning was, and it says the spiritual meaning is the magnificent and holy sapphire in all its celestial hues is a stone of wisdom and royalty, of prophecy and divine favor. To the ancient and medieval world, sapphire of heavenly blue signified the height of celestial hope and faith, and was believed to bring protection, good fortune, and spiritual insight. Now you see what I'm saying. There's just by saying the word sapphire added that little bit of detail to show how magnificent it is. Okay, let's go to verse 2. The Lord said to the man clothed in linen, "Go in among the wheels beneath the cherubim. Fill your hands with burning coals from among the cherubim and scatter them over the city." And as I watched, he went in. Okay, that was verse 2. Now, what does it mean by go among the wheels? It's like, okay, what wheels? I'm glad you asked, as my pastor would say. So, according to the New York Times on Google, it says that the wheel, like image in the book of Ezekiel and the cosmogram, Dr. Pruitt suggested, represented the universe and the path we travel through this world and the afterlife, and it stands for the enduring connection between this world and the next, the power from above and below. Okay, that's one way of seeing it. Let's check out some more as we study together. There's another one that says, next to each cherub, which is the cherubim, cherub is singular, one wheel was placed next to another one. A few Bible commentaries state that the wheels traversed each other, one inside of another, like in a cross. They allowed the spirits to immediately go in any of four directions where they were told to go. In regard to how each wheel was engineered, our limited understanding makes it almost impossible to comprehend how such things would be made supernaturally. So, this detail to me makes me believe that it's not for us to have understanding of what it is and how it evolved. It's something that's next to the cherubim, and they use it to go in different directions, but it doesn't move. So it's just something, a detail that's next to them. Interesting. Okay, then still in verse 2, it says, and then he says, fill your hands with burning coals from among the wheels. With the burning coals, we see the city is about to be burned. Why else would they want to put burning coals all over the city? That's a representation to me that the city is about to be burned. Also, according to the Bible Blender online, the coal and the fire are symbolic of purification, and the coals carried by the man in linen represent judgment of the disobedient Israelites and the purging of sin. Yikes. The Babylonians destroyed Jerusalem by fire. Now, how does it feel today? To me, today I feel like God is purging our land. There's so much death and disaster and things that are happening in nature that are not normal or record breaking. I believe he is in the process of purging our land. Let's go to verse 3 through 5. Now the cherubim were standing on the south side of the temple when the man went in, and a cloud filled the inner court. Then the glory of the Lord rose from above the cherubim and moved to the threshold of the temple. The cloud filled the temple, and the court was full of radiance of the glory of the Lord. The sound of the wings of the cherubim could be heard as far away as the outer court, like the voice of God Almighty when he speaks. Imagine hearing the sound of the wings and seeing surrounding clouds, never seen or heard before by the people. I could see them being curious and scared at the same time, which sounds like today. Like I said, the record-breaking temps, natural disasters, change in climate, locusts in Africa, etc., etc., etc. He is warning us. God is warning us today through all of this that's going on. This is what I believe. A lot of believers believe. Verses 6 through 8. When the Lord commanded the man in linen, take fire from among the wheels, from among the cherubim, the man went in and stood beside a wheel. Then one of the cherubim reached out his hand to the fire that was among them. He took up some of it and put it into the hands of the man in linen, who took it and went out. Verse 8, under the wings of the cherubim could be seen what looked like the hands of a man. Interesting details again. So in verse 6 through 8, he repeats in verse 8, under the wings of the cherubim could be seen what looked like the hands of a man. Repetition, remember, equals emphasis. According to the Bible Hub online, it says, let's read that real quick. The hands of man, implying, of course, also human arms. This particular adds to the generally human appearance of cherubim. Yet we must understand that there were 4 hands corresponding to the wings for each cherub. These hands were under their wings on their 4 sides. Hence, the wings must have been attached at the shoulder. The repetition, they 4 had their faces and their wings, is for the sake of emphasis and distinctness. So again, the detail is to me to tell the difference between the different types of angels. Remember, we learned about 3 different angels. And this one, which is the cherubim, is the guardian angel. We learned about the seraphim, which is also the guardian angel like the cherubim, but has 6 wings. So they're letting you know the distinction between the 2 and which one was there, which was the cherubim. And then also we know about the angel, which is known as the messenger. Okay, so they're letting us know it's the cherubim that's there and is doing the work on duty right now. So if we look at verse 9 through 12, it says, I looked and I saw beside the cherubim 4 wheels, one beside each of cherubims. The wheels sparkled like chrysolites. As for their appearance, the 4 of them looked alike. Each was like a wheel intersecting a wheel. As they moved, they would go in any one of the 4 directions the cherubim faced. The wheels did not turn about as the cherubim went. Wow. The cherubim went in whatever direction the head faced. Without turning as they went, their entire bodies, including their backs, their hands, and their wings, were completely full of eyes, as were their 4 wheels. Okay, now they were completely full of eyes. Well, all of those great details to me show that they are great guardians. I mean, they have eyes all around their face, making them more than capable of being great guardians. I mean, if you think about it, we always thought our moms had eyes in the back of their heads. I mean, imagine if they had all of those eyes that they had. Woo, we would be in some big stuff. And so anyway, that's to me what made them so great as well, is they had eyes all over, therefore making them great guardians for their position, guardian angels. Okay, let's look at 14 through 17. Each of the cherubim had 4 faces. One face was that of a cherub, the second the face of a man, and the third the face of a lion, and the 4th the face of an eagle. Wow. Those details, even the lion, the strength, the eagle, the knowledge, the insight, the cherub is full of these powerful presence. Then the cherubim rose upward. These were the living creatures I had seen by the Kibar River. When the cherubim moved, the wheels beside them moved, and when the cherubim spread their wings to rise from the ground, the wheels did not leave their side. When the cherubim stood still, they also stood still. And when the cherubim rose, they rose with them, because the spirit of the living creatures was in them. Then the glory of the Lord departed from over the threshold of the temple and stopped above the cherubim. What great, again, amazing details. It's like you can use your imagination or picture what they're saying in your head. So the details given of the moment of the cherubim, to me, to place the emphasis on the beauty and the majesticness, if that's a word, of the cherubim, meaning impressive beauty or dignity according to Google dictionaries. So again, meaning impressive beauty or dignity according to the Google dictionary. Okay, let's read verse 18. Then the glory of the Lord departed from over the thresholds of the temple and stopped above the cherubim. Okay. Verse 18 talks about the glory of the Lord departed. According to my study Bible, it says, God's glory departed from the temple and was never completely present again until Christ himself visited in the New Testament times. God's holiness required that he leave the temple because the people had so defiled it. God had to completely destroy what people had perverted in order for true worship to be revived. Oof! We must commit ourselves, our families, our churches, and our nation to follow God faithfully so that we never have to experience God's abandoning us. Okay, if you're not thinking about today, when I read that, you need to. Because, listen, God had to completely destroy what people had perverted in order for true worship to be revived. God, again, is purging our land. He's like, no, I don't like what's going on. We're going to have to try this again. And we're going to start from scratch if we have to. And those not willing will have to get got. You have to go. Purging our land. But we must stay faithful. Today, it appears that he is completely destroying what was built outside of him. You know, like when they started taking him out of schools. No businesses, less cash flow, tainted meat, shortages, no schools in the classroom, no church in the buildings, and so on and so on. We've been warned. God is not happy and he is purging our land. And like I keep saying, stop playing. Just stop playing. You know, because he is not playing right now. And it's time that people start taking this serious. So let's look at verse 19 through 20. While I watched the cherubim spread their wings and rose from the ground, and as they went, the wheels went with them. They stopped at the entrance to the east gate of the Lord's house, and the glory of God of Israel was above them. These were the living creatures I had seen beneath the God of Israel by the Kibar River, and I realized that they were cherubim. Each had 4 faces and 4 wings, and under their wings was what looked like the hands of a man. Again, that part is repeated to show distinction between the type of angels that they were. Their faces had the same appearance as those I had seen by the Kibar River. Each one went straight ahead. I also think it's interesting that he's seen them before. You know, so those guardian angels were all around, again showing the majestic beauty of God's creations. Wow. I mean, we've never seen anything like that. He created this for himself as guardians. And another great lesson and insight into the power of God. He has so many things working on his behalf. You cannot outwit him, outthink him, hide from him, do anything against him and get away with it. Look at these creations. I mean, you definitely can't battle him, let alone the cherubim, which is the guardian, an angel, which is the messenger, and also the seraphim, which is also the guardian angel, among all of the other things that are happening in his behalf. Wow. That was Ezekiel 10. It's a little bit shorter discussion because to me it was more on the details of the majesticness of the cherubim and what it's doing and the role of Ezekiel and the burning of the land. And again, the destruction. Ezekiel 10 was about the purging and the judgment of the Israelites. They are going through it. And so are we, and will we, if we don't get our stuff together. So we all as believers need to come together and pray. Not actually coming together, stay home. But I mean, we all need to unite and pray. So that was also another great chapter in Ezekiel, really following it and gearing it towards what we're actually going through today as well. Again, please like, share, follow, subscribe, comment. I'd love to hear from you guys and what you're getting from this, what your input is. Maybe there's something you'd like for me to add to make it more appealing or help you to have a better understanding. Let me know that as well. We can all learn together. But I also would like to let you know about a podcast that I am doing as well on marriage. And that's for any couples, boyfriend and girlfriends, people who are engaged, to listen, come together during this time, get a better understanding of each other so that we can tighten up our relationships and strengthen our base. I will include the link to the podcast in the details. And always remember, God deserves our praise, worship, and glory. Yesterday, today, and every day. Be blessed and covered during this time. Stay safe. See you next chapter. God bless.